So, Mark, are we experts on like intercultural and interracial relations in other countries?
Yeah, we are certainly not.
But what are we experts in?
Russian interference.
Yeah, so you know how like there is a Spider-Man and he has spidey sense for like trouble, you know, like his arm hairs stand up and he's like something shady is going on, right? Well, here at this channel, we don't have a spidey sense for I mean, we do have spidey sense for crimes, but for very particular crimes and very particular shady stuff. Namely, when I hear a piece of news on the TV, on the internet, and I hear about some conflict, and then something just like something crosses my mind. Yeah.
Something
Could it
something
be Russia?
Russian. Yeah, it smells
Yes.
like Russian.
Yes. So this is exactly what we are going to be talking about today. Unfortunately, it's about a horrible crime that happened a couple of days ago. So on the 29th of July, 2024, unfortunately, a mass stabbing targeting children occurred at a dance studio in Southport, United Kingdom. 3 children were killed and 10 other people were injured, some of them severely. And the main person of interest in this case, and the person who has obviously done this at this point, his name is Axel Rudakubana, and he is a 17-year-old British citizen born in Cardiff to Rwandan parents. He was arrested at the scene. He's been charged with 3 counts of murder, 10 counts of attempted murder, and possession of a bladed article. Yeah, the reason I'm saying that he was a 17-year-old British citizen born in Cardiff, and I'm
From
being
Christian family.
Yes. And the reason I'm being so weirdly specific is because of what happened next.
Yeah, so the next, the violent riots happened. The violent anti-Muslim riots, people, far-right extremists, if you want to call them that way, started rioting, torching up police cars, attacking people of brown color, attacking mosques. And so the violence has been stirred up by false claims. The triple murder suspect was an asylum seeker called Ali al-Shakati, who arrived in the UK on a small boat and was on the Me6 watch list. The claims were amplified by social media account Channel 3 Now, which masquerades as an American news website and whose inflammatory post was viewed by nearly 2 million people before being deleted. So some fake news organization posted that this was made by Muslim asylum seeker on MI6 watch list, and people started writing all over the Britain, started torching up police cars, fighting with other protesters. Things are going really, really wild there. Meanwhile, the reality is the boy who did this, horrendous crime, was not Muslim, was British citizen, and was actually Christian, although black, from Rwandan, born from Rwandan parents, and probably he was just mentally ill, and it is in no way related to any terrorist activity or any migrant activity or anything like that. Because that's just the thing, like, really, really sick people do. So how do we know that this is Russian operation, so to say? Not the killing of the children, but the misinformation attack lately. So the Daily Mail revealed that Channel 3, which claims to be based in the US, but has paid for high-end privacy protection, started live 11 years ago as a Russian YouTube channel that posted videos of rally driving in the snow in Izhevsk in Russia, Russian city about 750 miles from Moscow. The drivers...
It's very important. It's like fucking middle of nowhere, right? Nobody, like, before we even continue saying anything about this, like, maybe it was a very famous Russian channel, and it had a lot of subscribers. And sometimes media companies will do this. They will buy media assets and then turn them into something else, which is a completely legit thing to do for anyone. But really, if you want to do a news video agency or something, do you really search for let's look at this fucking backwater, bottom of the, I don't know, pit, fucking car driving in Izhevsk in Russia, and let's buy that because that's an asset. No, you don't do that.
That's not all. The drivers named in the videos have connections to the country's defense and IT industries, including a man who appears to be a former KGB operative who was since served in Russian's parliament. I mean, to
be honest, Mark,
it's not unusual, but
half of the country of Russia is worked in KGB. This is not even that weird.
Not all of them served in Russian parliament, but the funny thing, they didn't even
maybe if they did, people would finally take account for what they've been doing everywhere and not pretend oh, it's not us, it's Putin.
Yeah, these GRU agents didn't even create new channel for their activity. They just used the old ones. They was like, hey, you had remember YouTube? You had YouTube, right? Yes, I have an account.
Yes, I have a video channel called KGB Live, where I talk about the daily life of a KGB officer. Great idea. Let's use that one. Just rename it to completely not KGB channel News 5.
Yeah. So Channel 3 wasn't active for 6 years before it suddenly began posting bizarre videos in English in 2019, including one about a tiger being beaten to death and a match report on the Manchester City women's football team. 2 years ago, the videos began to look like the output of a professional news channel, and in June last year, Channel 3 now set up its website, which has been accused of sharing racially motivated clickbait, which is absolutely normal, right from car rally driving in Izhevsk to tigers biting, whatever. The website has routinely changed its name and has gone by Fox 3 Now and Fox 3 News in an apparent attempt to copy the names of legitimate news organizations and also do the racially motivated clickbait where it's supposed to be on Fox News, right?
So they got one thing right. Mark, we should just rename our channel to
Fox
get confused
News
with
4.
MSNBC
5. MS5 NBC. Yeah, I love it. So the funniest thing, they later posted an apology for their error after the interrupted, but it was not
which error, the error of renaming their channel or error of misreporting the news. I'm sorry, we called ourselves Fox 3.
Sorry.
We wanted to call ourselves Fox 33. It was a mistake. I'm sorry. Why did I turn Italian?
These jury agents apparently, by the looks of the apology, used the ChatGPT, and we don't know that. It's impossible to detect, though.
Piotr, we have to post an apology. Something went wrong. Please. Okay, I can't write in English. Use ChatGPT. Okay. I'm sorry. Will not do this again. Sincerely yours, editor-in-chief. Everybody has been fired. Does this work? Sure. Sent.
So
done.
Social media made a big part in it. First of all, Telegram, the protesters organized in Telegram, and some Telegram channels looked like they were infested by some Russians. Some of it looks really weird. I haven't found, since I tried to find new Telegram channels from Southport, I haven't found any more. Probably they just deleted them. But people organizing, which is Telegram, is made by Russians, was created in Russia, and which most of workers and most of Telegram employees and their CEO are Russian. But not only that, it would be not as amplified if some of the most prominent far-right activists on the social media called X, unfortunately, which was formerly Twitter, wouldn't be so active about that. One of the most active man in that stuff was, you know who? Call his name.
Say my name.
Is he bald?
He probably is. Yeah, he
Is
tries to cover it. No, the other person. Oh, by the way, yeah, that
oh
the bald one. They both bald. They both try to cover that. Yeah, well, Andrew Tate. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about. I wanted to talk about Elon Musk.
no,
Um,
he is going bold slowly. That's true. I mean, he used to at least. But yeah, but Elon, come on, Elon loves this shit. It wouldn't be Elon if he didn't comment something horrible about something horrible. Like he just can't help himself. I'm sorry. My mind skipped Elon for some reason, just because I'm not surprised anymore.
Yeah, so the owner of the social media called Twitter, which in no way amplifies, of course, amplifies these protests and riots, and is writing something like "civil war." This is civil war, and this man is somehow obsessed with civil war in Europe.
Why? He doesn't even live there.
She doesn't even go here.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, like that's if you want to prove your point very bad because you're like a narcissist, sick narcissist, and you want to prove your point that Europe is woke and wokeness is bad, and wokeness leads to war and civil war and death and whatever. I mean, like, doesn't matter. Then you want to probably help it, and that's the problem I like to talk about, right? So this wouldn't be there if not social media. If social media would not amplify the misinformation, and if social media would not amplify the wildest and most bigoted things on there, and I understand that it is extremely hard to control this stuff, but we have met Russian disinformation and Russian literal attacks on society, right? Through social media, through social engineering and other stuff to create unrest. We have seen that in Ukraine for a long while. We have seen that in other countries, in the United States, in a lot of countries. They pretend to be people of different races, people from far left or far right. They have vast networks of bots. So if you think that, okay, here's the Telegram chat where there are like 500 people and all of them saying different stuff, that could be literally like 400 Russians sitting somewhere in the office in St. Petersburg. And I'm not exaggerating. This is how it is. These are hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands by now, people sitting and commenting, acting like Americans, like pro-Palestine protesters.
I've seen them
like
engage each other. I've seen them actually having an argument with each other, I guess, not understanding that they're actually, it's like two agents fighting and we're all there standing watching it. But like, it's true. And they're getting so good, you can't even sometimes tell the difference between a real deal. Like sometimes you can, like this tweet from Peter Leonard here, where he found this message on Telegram pretending to be a British person talking to other British people, saying things like, "We have to make direct actions. Immigration, drugs, nonsense, all must be destroyed. Towards the revolution for the honor and dignity of our people. Make the arsons against objects of migrants." Like, what the fuck is this? The syntax and everything is like completely, you can tell it's Russian language. Again, what that giveaway is, make the arsons against objects of migrants. This like literally a Russian structure is like объекты мусульманства. Like that's what they say.
That's not even Russian. That's not even Russian language. That's Russian policeman language. That's
it's like literally силовики language.
Канцелярит.
Канцелярит, аппаратчики stocking in his канцелярит. Like it's so obvious.
Exactly. That's the funny part, and it's so easy. It's so. I mean, like, imagine you have in your arsenal 5,000 accounts, 5,000 people, or maybe even more accounts, 10,000 accounts who can write different stuff. Imagine you can have this, and by just sending them the task, they can do groups in your cities. They can make local groups in your cities. They can make write different comments there. They can amplify any Twitter post, any news, anything. They can create fake news organization and amplify their reports, like they did, by the way. This is Russian scheme, by the way. They create fake news organizations and then post some investigation, like with Zelensky's house or car or something like that. They create these fakes every month and amplify for their soldiers in the West. I don't know, who are for some reasons are popular. So it's so easy, and countries should protect themselves from that. And we see now on these horrendous videos of people attacking each other on the streets of the United Kingdom, how easy is that to just spread the fake news and push people outside and make just like horrible mess.
Yeah, and if you don't want to take our word for it, you can take the word of a Sir Richard Dearlove, a former MI6 head, just say exact thing that we just said. He said that the spread of fake news was a fundamental tactic used by Putin's regime against the UK and other Western nations. What he said was, what I can tell you is that we're in a state of grey warfare with Russia. We may not feel that we are, but they certainly think they are. And so he's been adamant about the fact that Moscow's attitude towards UK is as grave as you can recall. And, it's about against the West in general. And what they do and what they have been doing for years, and have been doing this in Ukraine in 2014, and even before that in Georgia and other countries, they see these points of tension that have to almost always do with like regional, cultural, ethnic conflicts. And they go in there, they stir in the pot, they heat it up, and then they can't invade Britain at this point, but they sure can make sure that, that people are as divided as possible. And so this is not in any way, shape, or form a new tactic. And so the reason why we're talking about this tingly spidey sense we have is that it's just almost most likely what's going on. It's never, it's very difficult to believe in these things sometimes, but because Russia has been so good at meddling within these conflicts and inciting people against each other, I'm starting to think that people in their hearts of hearts are actually good. They don't hate each other for no reason. They hate each other when Russians come there and make them yell at each other. So, and these things actually have real life consequences. When we talk about information warfare, we talk a lot about how opinions change and how people, have arguments and how people are polarized and how that finds its kind of answer in elections and in all these things. But here we're talking about real hate crimes perpetrated by real people who go, who can probably, hurt someone if they're riled up to a point, where they actually feel like that's the only way out. So this is real life. It's not a test. It's not a joke. It's real world, guys. Whenever you're, catch yourself arguing with some stranger on the internet, really in a very heated debate on a very controversial topic, stop yourself for 1 minute and just think, maybe that's not because that's what you guys believe in. Maybe that's you being, kind of wound up by the person who's getting paid to do it. I mean, I'm not saying anything new here. We've been talking about this, not just us.
But
everybody's been talking about this for years.
You know what's important? The thing is important, and we talk about that, and I heard talks about that in every security institutions, European institution, United States Congress. They talk about it. They talk and talk and talk all the time, but people generally don't take this seriously. People underappreciate the level to which Russia is able actually to influence their opinion, to which Russia is able to plant this disinformation, misinformation, plant this extreme thoughts in their minds, and the level to which Russia can manipulate the social media and different people, different leaders of opinion, etc., etc., to which extent Russia can actually pay to different people for different opinions as well. And one of the reasons of that probably is because people just don't believe that Russia is capable of doing such an influence, right? You cannot believe Russia could trick you into hating someone or loving someone or something like that, because it would be, I don't know, maybe humiliating. You don't want to accept that. But the point is, which people probably don't know about Russians, and especially Russians' intelligence, is they are really, really, really good at understanding Europeans, at understanding Americans. They're really good at the thing you said, right? Just getting into all the conflicts, all the racial conflicts, all the social tensions. They understand this perfectly because they know a lot about you. They know more about you than you know about them, because they are at war with you and you are not at war with them, and they study you and they do it really good. So yeah, and
You know what else is important?
I don't know,
Something very important.
to subscribe to our channel.
Yes. At this channel, we incite war. No, I'm kidding. Actually, maybe, but no. If we promise our channel was not created by GRU agents a couple of years ago, where we published, our cars driving in the snow somewhere in backwater Ukraine, and with pigs and chickens and whatever. No, we created this channel solely for the purpose of telling you the truth about certain things, facts about, actual humanistic ideals, if you will. So if you're not yet subscribed and you're watching this just without subscription, I mean, what are you doing? Please subscribe to this channel down below. Please leave a comment about your personal experience with talking to KGB officers online. Maybe you have a funny story. Please send this video to your friends, especially in the UK. Now tensions are very high. Maybe they need an alternative point of view to listen to about this case. And yeah, by the way, it's very important. This video needs to be shared on Twitter. Let's make it Twitter's video of the day today, because it's actually, that platform is suffering deeply with all this misinformation, especially Russian influence. So please, copy the link or tap the share button, go to Twitter, make a little maybe snippet, maybe, screenshot a funny face that I'm making or Mark's making, put it there and write, look at these two idiots talking crap. And then, people will come and watch. So,
Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, I think we covered everything. I think that's all which is needed to say. People just should be careful online, right? Because every girl which likes you can be actually a Russian agent.
No, she is.
she's 100%.
Especially if you work for another government or law enforcement. Like, definitely, if a girl is writing to you, she's a big fat GRU agent who's just, making up erotic crap to seduce you, and you don't want that. It's not sexy at all. So yeah.
That's right.
I cannot unsee that now.
Hope you do. See you next week.
Bye.